Okay, so the arcade district is that way. Okay. All right. So hello everyone. I've returned.
Me
Er,
too. I have one time.
nah, I just like, cause I do take like decently long breaks, cause it's like if you're not in the right mindset to do content creation, it's obviously you
Yeah.
know it's kind of not good to do it. Um, so that's kind of why I don't have like a set schedule or anything, cause then I'd probably stress myself or something would happen or what have you, and then it's not really good
Yeah.
for you. Let's see. Housing item. Well, we know where that's going.
Great.
Well, we know where that's going.
Yep.
Princess Baloo, eat it. 1 XP from that. Fed her, fed her a whole statue, and she just like 1 XP. Glad to know the game still cares, huh? Glad to know my pet could gain the 1 EXP from feeding it a whole statue. I would like to know how it ate the whole statue and how it eats anything in general, considering that's like a ghost. Perhaps
So,
perhaps logic
and
should
like,
be something that does not pop up in Wizard today, though.
so yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but the reason why I want to come back to Wiz is
Hmm.
because starting next month is their birthday, Wiz's birthday,
Yeah, they always do.
and
The September is Wiz, and then you got October, which is Pirate.
yeah, and then so like not only that, because I think what is it? So I know the whole month of November they're doing the test round for the new world.
Yeah, I mean, they'll usually, cause that'll be like the fall test round. That
Yeah, I
that
think
is
it's like
around the
October,
time that they
November,
do it.
something like that. Yeah.
Cause they usually have like ones for like the different seasons.
But
Like,
I'm you know you know what my prediction is? I think what it's going to be is so Dragonspire we had Mouse there.
mm-hmm.
Stephalia we had um Morgan,
Yes.
and then and then and then Azteca we had the Undying again.
Yeah, that was Mouse there. Yeah.
From Azteca and Darkmoor, and then Chrysalis we had Morganth again,
Yeah. I mean,
and then
the
mhm,
way that you would want to describe is like the game is divided into arcs, and each arc does
yeah,
have a big bad. Like arc 1 is Malistaire, you got arc 2 which is Morganth, arc 3 which has the more kind of the pretty sure it is the cuz it's like there is a big bad. I think the third one was like trying to remember.
oh, Grandfather Spider and his kids,
Yes, that's right. Yes. And then you got arc 4.
which is the bat, the scorpion, and
Yeah.
the rat.
Yes. And it's been so long. And then like arc 4 is pretty sure that's like when you have like the nothing, which is made from like the old one, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. Because it's like, because I know that they have a weird way that the arcs are divided, but usually the way you can tell is like when they have the big bad.
but
Each area has like its own big bad. And I think arc 5, which is just Darkmoor, the world, we haven't really seen like the main bad of that yet.
true.
So it's like we don't really know
But
what the
my my guess, if I had to guess, we might see. I mean, it's possible, but we would have to wait to see if it does.
Right.
Like what's to come. But what I think is, I think it's gonna be, because remember, she was following us when we were in Polaris, Mirage, and Imperia,
You're
and that
talking.
was Malloy,
Yeah. I mean,
who's
but the thing
apparently
is
the
that the reason I don't think that she is going to be a big bad at all is because like she has the purest of heart. Because if you remember,
true.
even in Imperia, when she represents a lot of like light magic, like your wizard does. That's why when she combined with the bat, like she combined her energy with bat, it helped with like you being able to be like a paradox, you know?
Yeah,
Because it's like you have like the trinity of like one representing light magic, which is Mallory, the dark energy, which is shadow magic adjacent from the bat, and then you got your wizard who represents kind of a weird spot of like it you come because the lore from what I remember about your wizard character that we have that's confirmed is that your wizard character comes from a world that does not believe in magic. This world being confirmed to be Earth. Like like it is literally just a representation of Earth. So your wizard
right, right,
is kind of a interesting being because it's like you come from a world where they do not believe in magic at all. Like they do
that's
not
true.
believe in any magic at all. So it's kind of like so the thing is that that's kind of why you're able to take a form of a paradox in the first place is because you are a entity that kind of doesn't exactly belong there but belongs there at the same time.
Right,
And that's kind of
but
why even in Darkmoor when you have to make the one choice that doesn't really matter until like you do the end of Darkmoor, it's kind of like it I think the main villain that's going to be I think the closest thing we might have to like a big bad would either be Miranda Breyer from Darkmoor or it could be just like yourself. Like, and I know that that sounds kind of cheesy, but hear me out. Like, it would kind of be very interesting because it's like the theme in Darkmoor that is apparent is like this is something about yourself, right? So it would make
yeah,
sense that the big bad would kind of because they did that was kind of one of their big things that they were hyping up with Darkmoor, the world, was like, hey, this is kind of going to be you seeing something about yourself. So it would either make stance to reason that Miranda Breyer, who openly admits that she kind of came from Earth similarly to you in the storyline,
yeah,
it would either make sense that she would be the big bad that's going to be the main villain of Arc 5, or you would just be kind of fighting yourself, like something about your
yeah.
past. So
But
I think that would kind of make sense with them being like this is kind of your past, like something representing you. That's why you even
yeah,
have to make that's why you even get to make a decision whether you chase after her or stand with the earth, you know.
yeah,
So I think that's kind of why the game's hinting towards like either she's going to be the big bad or you're kind of going to be fighting yourself in a sense because you do come from a place that's not the spiral. Like your
that's
wizard
true.
character
Yeah,
comes is not like natural to the spiral. You came in by a calling from Bartleby himself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how, like I said, I think that's kind of going to be what they lead up to. But I would certainly, like I said, that would be kind of my guess based on what they've been saying Arc 5 is going to be about, like your past,
Yeah.
or like you something to do with your world, you know.
Yeah.
And Darkmoor already shows us that they are going for that direction with Miranda Breyer and whatnot.
But you want to hear who you want to hear who I think it I mean, I don't know if it's going to be, but you want to hear who I think it might be?
Hmm.
And like my whole like the backstory. So I so my guess, cuz so you know how we already done Mouse there. He died. He came back to life, and we done and we killed him twice. Well, technically
Right.
three. There's
But the
two the Undying, one in Azteca and one in Dogmo, right?
right. But the thing is like the funny thing is like no matter what, he's not a big bad again though. Like
Yeah,
that's kind of why, like I said,
but
because you got like that was more Morganth's doing that brought him back in the first place. So
that's true. But so, but what I'm saying is, I don't think it's Mouse there, and I don't think it's the Bat or Grandfather Spider or the Raven or the
right,
basically the ones that we already fought. So that's like the Scorpion, the Rat, the Bat,
right.
Grandfather Spider, Morgan, and Mouser, right?
Yeah, no, I think we've wrapped up the bow on those, all those, yes.
And I mean, not really Grandmother Raven, but kind of, cause like,
She, no, her thing is like she, no, the reason I say she's not really the closest thing she is she's not a big bad in the game. No, her
true,
thing is just because because of where you come from and like stuff like that. It's kind of giving her kind of the apprehension because she's like, well, if you don't believe in magic, but you're in a world filled with it, you know, that's kind of it's kind of
right?
contradictory. So that's kind of
But
why, like,
but
she doesn't really have
yeah,
any like evil. She's more being cautious because she's been hurt so many times, you know, that she's trying to be careful.
yeah. But what I was trying to say is, my personal, my theory that I think who it might be,
Mhm.
cause you know that we already fought him once, and that was Meow Yachty. And I think we might be able to like I think we might be able to fight him again because it'll be a war where he comes from and he was all alone, and not only that he wanted to he want he, he wanted to not only destroy the spiral, but he also wanted to help Master Drake.
Right.
But
Uh,
then he switched sides, and he was going to be in the like death school, but he turned and be with Cyrus. So I think it's possible because he wanted to be with the Drakes. It is possible that we could be fighting not only Cyrus Drake, Mouser's Drake, but Sylvia Drake with Meowth
I mean,
because he want because when we fought him in Mollybone
mhm.
in Big Ben, essentially, he said, "Oh yeah, like I want you to meet this person." So essentially, since he's stuck in Big Ben hiding, I think it might be really crazy that we might see Miyayori again. But
I
not
mean,
only does he and does with Shadow, so not only is he Shadow, but he's also Myth. he's all the schools. So so he's the sun, star, moon, shadow, and now light.
All right.
So he could, because when he was they were talking that he might be there. Um, he was talking that there's other wars. When you go to Zephyria, there's like Albion, there's Polaris, there's Mirage, there's all, and that person was talking that you could see all the that they traveled all the wars. So like it was like what, like Polaris, Chrysalis, Mirage, Imperia. Yeah, so Polaris, Chrysalis, Imperia, Mirage, Albion, and yeah. So basically those five wars, but the only one that they haven't mentioned was Albion. I mean, because they consider Zephyria, Avalon, and Azteca as the ones that they were going through after Zephyria. So my guess is because we could be going into a world that Miyamoto was in. Not saying that he was in Marleybone, but his own world where it's all filled with dogs, cats, mice, and rats. So so basically dogs, cats, mice, and rats.
You do realize that you're just re-describing Marleybone, right?
Right, but what I'm saying is Marleybone. So Miyamoto is a rat, right?
Yes, he is.
Or some type of rat.
Yeah,
So,
he's like a either a
but that's
cat
what I'm
or a
saying.
rat, because I
I'm,
think
I'm,
I'm pretty sure he's meant to be like a one of them hairless cats.
yeah.
So
So, but that's what I'm saying. I think there is. So, if we go to Albion, or not Albion, it's probably gonna be somewhere that like Meow Yaldi came from. Not
well,
essentially Volleybone, but it's another world.
so but the reason that your theory probably wouldn't even be true is because we got to remember the sequence order of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marleybone comes before Dragonspire and even Mushu, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that like the one piece of evidence that you used where it's like he's talking to someone, if you really think like that was like some shadow or something, it wasn't. It was meant to be kind of the lead up to figuring out that Malistaire is trying to gain control of the Dragon Titan from Dragonspire, right? Like
Yeah.
if you pay attention to the way he talks to him, it's like because when you think about it, Malistaire has kind of been through so much. He's deaf school, but he also has like touch shadow because we know this based on Morganth, right? Morganth
Yeah.
showed him shadow. So it would make sense to reason that even before you you actually know that Malistaire, because you're not meant to know that Malistaire is the big bad of the first arc until after Mushu or like even the start of Dragonspire, where it's like you know for sure because
Yeah.
Cyrus Drake even tells you like I'm going to make sure that you're ready
Um,
for
you wanna go in?
yeah, as long as you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Um, but yeah, no, because you're not supposed to know that. Like you're not supposed to know because it's kind of like part of a story, right? The
Yeah.
whole game is a story. It's divided up into like arcs, which you could consider like chapters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you really think about it like that, each one having a sort of antagonist or big bad makes sense. Um, because it's like, that makes sense. How so, but of course you don't just reveal the big bad outright. It wouldn't have no suspense, no mystery. So that's why if you pay attention to the way the game progresses, because like in Wizard City you kind of realize like, something isn't right. Crocotopia, you realize, there's a important artifact that goes and gets shipped off to Marleybone by accident, the Croconomicon. Um, then you go into Marleybone trying to get the Croconomicon and realize there's stuff that's not right. And if you pay attention, like, it's also kind of hinted at that whatever is going on is heavily death magic related. Like,
That's true. Yeah.
so, like, obviously, there's only one person who would have that animosity. And then when you get to Mushu, it's all about, you know, like, it's all but confirmed, as, like, the Emperor of Mushu himself says, like, a different, like, person came and grabbed his key to Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, obviously there's only one person who fits that whole bill, and then that's kind of like when you learn that, hey, that's, and then after you discuss with Cyrus that you're possibly fighting his brother, that's when it's kind of like, okay, well, let me make sure that you're worthy enough to go toe to toe with him, because that's
Yeah.
even before his shadow, transformation that he gets with Morganth. He's decently powerful. He's meant to be a big bad for a reason, you know.
Mhm.
So again, it's kind of like each world kind of hints towards like stuff that isn't right. Because even in Wizard City, you can tell like there's a surge of death magic. Who else would
Yeah.
actually have access to that? Because obviously Dworgen and the student that acts like a deaf teacher, obviously they have no like real reason to cause all that surge of death magic in the Wizard City, right? There's
Mhm.
only one person who has like a real connection to that and like has the means of doing so. And again, it's even hinted at if you go into the tutorial too. Like he has a connection to Wizard City that runs deep. Like
Yeah.
deeper than even we would understand as the player. And then when he reveals that
Yeah.
he's trying to do all this because Sylvia passed, she's canonically dead, and Malistair's so lovesick that he's trying to bring her back by any means necessary. That's kind of when you realize, like, he's not a bad person. He's doing this out of what he believes is a very noble and good thing. Even though the
Yeah.
sacrifices may not be as good, his intentions are more better than the other ones.
Mhm.
Morganth is more sinister that's when they start ramping up the whole like evilness in their bads, you know. Like
Yeah.
Malistair was meant to be kind of the warm up, to be like, hey, you know, this is kind of the antagonist that kind of has like a more noble reasoning for what he did. Morganth, on the other hand, she doesn't. You know,
That's true.
like like she does not have any redeeming thing. Like originally you think like, oh, in Safaria when she's trying to get her stuff back, you kind of think like, okay, that could be something that could be like good, because like if stuff was stolen from you, obviously you want to get it back. But the thing
Yeah.
is that as you progress through that arc, you're kind of realizing that she's not really as noble. She's not like,
Yeah.
even the stuff she's trying to get back is essentially her magic that is so dangerous that even Merle himself is didn't want any student to ever interact with it.
That is true.
And even when they redid the whole shadow magic system, that that still idea of like it's so dangerous is still holds true. Like the story is still the same, even though you get
Yeah.
slightly altered spells from it than you did before. It is kind of like it is a forbidden magic, which you would think like,
But
that for a magic to be forbidden, especially when you consider that Merle is the easier one
yeah.
out of the, because there's two rival schools as we learned from Wisteria, right? You got the Wisteria school, and then you got Wizard, Ravenwood. uh you got two different schools, right? But Merle is the more easygoing out of the two. So for him to be like, okay, this is a forbidden magic, it has to be bad. Like
Yeah.
like it has to be very powerful for him to even say that. And the thing is like, that, and he mentions like, if you pay attention, like a lot of his dialogue is like, I really didn't want you to have to learn shadow magic in the first place.
That's true.
Like he really wanted to keep all of his students away from it. But of course, he also realizes that at the same time he couldn't necessarily keep you from it entirely because it was part of the
Yeah.
problem. So obviously you're going to have to kind of fight fire with fire, so to speak, in that sense, because it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of your only weapon that you can kind of use to get the drop on, someone who's has all that shadow magic,
But
so to speak.
what
And then,
is it?
of course, when you go against and then when you go against like old Cobb and all of his kids, you're also, again, it's kind of the same concept of like you're kind of not only are you using normal magic, the seven schools, and even like astral magic on top of it, which is crazy, but you're also mixing that with
Yeah.
shadow magic, which is like a forbidden magic, and it's powerful, right? But it also, you're kind of the only one who's really able to handle it, right? Like
Yeah.
other than Grandfather Spider or Old Cobb, you're kind of the first person in so long that's actually able to handle it as well as you can. And that's kind of why when you go against Old Cobb and even all of his kids, they like they are impressed because it's like you are wielding magic that has been forbidden for so long that they didn't think anyone else could handle it. Like they really thought it was like a do not ever disturb type situation. You do
Yeah.
not like, and even Merle says like he wanted to keep you away from it, but he obviously knows that you have a greater destiny. And that's kind of
That's
the
true. Yeah.
main thing that he says is like, while I did want to keep you from it, at the same time, even I understand that you have a powerful destiny that's in front of you. And even if you pay attention to like the tutorial, and even Bartleby mentions, you have a destiny that's so great that no one could really stop you. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a powerful destiny. Even if you don't know what your full
But
destiny is, it's kind of a big narrative thing that's like Merle obviously he helps you, he instructs you, right? And he's like, and even he cannot stop from you having to learn these dark magics, because again, it's
yeah.
like your destiny is so great that, and that's not even being pompous or anything like that about your
Yeah.
character in the story. It's kind of how it's expressed in the story itself. Is like you're wielding magic that has been kind of forgotten in a way that's like, because of it being forbidden for so long, they thought no one else could wield it very well except for like Grandfather Spider, who was
Yeah.
obviously kind of the main person who who's well is kind of like it's kind of like Grandmother Raven. Like it's kind of like her negativity is Grandfather Spider if you really think about it. Because like
Yeah.
Grandfather Spider uses shadow and is, he is a being of shadow. Similar to how
Yeah,
Grandmother
that's true.
Raven is like a being of pure astral and light type magic. That's why she even has an astral form that you see from time to time in the story.
So
So,
the one
um,
thing that I so
but
what
the
I was
thing
gonna
is
say
like
is
I'm not done. But
okay.
so, and then the main gimmick that appears in the fourth and fifth arcs, well, not so much the fourth arc, but more like the fifth arc, I believe. It's kind of really weird because there's like it kind of appears in the fourth arc a bit as a thing, but there's also kind of the real thing that they're doing where you're wielding magic in such a way that it's kind of affecting things a certain way. Uh, like like if you pay attention to like the weaving and stuff like that, they mention that that like this type what you're doing is kind of messing with magic in a sense of like in a way that that everyone is kind of worried what you're doing with magic is kind of really weird because you see in like Novus and stuff like that where you're learning spells that combine schools, which is something that theoretically is never supposed to be possible. You're
Yeah.
supposed to have like your one school that you
Yeah.
are, maybe learn like Astral or Shadow, and that's it. But now that we're getting into this territory of like you're mixing schools, and even if you pay attention to like the weaving quests, even they mention it does seem like it could be dangerous if you're not careful with it. Because
That's true. Yeah.
like when I was doing the life in the storm weaving, one of the big uh, parts of the quest is like, and it's true for any other school that you weave into, is like there's this point before the most recent one that they did, most recent weaving rank, the one before it, they say like, okay, like for all intents and purposes, we're stunned. Um, but they do say like that something is not correct. Like those even the icons are becoming schools that they're not supposed to be able to. And that kind of causes a fear of like magical corruption of sorts. Each
Yeah.
each school that you weave into kind of handles it differently, but you're kind of it's the same general concept of like what you're doing is kind of affecting magic in unexpected ways that no one can even predict.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like why when you do like the Novus and you know Lumeria stuff, it's kind of like a very big thing of like you're mixing schools when school mixing is not meant to exist. Like even when you
True.
do the weaving quest, it's like like the trees, and whatnot say that you can, right? And maybe in some aspects you can, but you're also, even your character is, because of it coming from your character coming from a different world, it's kind of messing with things that even those trees cannot predict.
Yeah.
And it's like it's affecting things. It's like you have your character has a more influence on things than even you as the player might realize. Like you have abilities that kind of, are not normal, right? You can handle shadow
Yeah.
magic very proficiently, almost like you were born in it in a sense, which is not normal, you know. You're
Yeah.
also able to wield, um, astral magic is one of the ones that they kind of expected that you would be able to master. Fine, that's good, right? So, but it's more like the shadow magic and like mixing magic in certain ways that is unexpected, right? Like you're doing stuff even way beyond what they expect you to.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why, if you really think about it, and even think back to the paradox too, when you become the paradox, that's kind of why you're. Because if you think about what the word paradox means, is it's something that should, like, the definition can mean something that shouldn't exist, right? Like a paradox is something, is like it's either a conundrum that cannot be solved, right? And if you apply that
Yeah.
same logic to your wizard, it's kind of makes sense because not only are you're being a representative from Earth, a place that does not believe in magic, but you're also doing things way beyond what anyone can expect. Like you're wielding shadow
Yeah.
magic like it's nothing,
Yep. Yeah.
and you're mixing schools that even no matter what you do, it's kind of like you're doing it so much that you are a paradox in your own right. Like you are a paradox because you're like doing all these things that no one has done, and you're even influencing people in ways that also has not been done. Like you're making all these allies and enemies that, you know, back before no one has done, right? Like the
Yeah.
like not yes, you're helping, but you're also making allies and enemies in weird ways. Like, not only are you did you like if you really think about it, even back in Arc 1, you defeated Malice there. No one thought that was possible. Like they say as much, like they do say as much in the dialogue, like this is kind of unexpected, but that's a good thing. And you were, and
Yeah.
even in that, you're kind of like hoping, like everyone is kind of hoping that, because of that, you're able to help Malistaire kind of be in peace. And then he is until like Morganth starts messing with shadow magic that can bend reality itself. And she's trying to use it to take over the whole spiral, right? So
Yeah.
because of that, of course, she fails in a weird way too. Because in Chrysalis, she just falls through glass because she couldn't handle the magic. And that's kind of when you start realizing that your
You might
character.
need to heal me.
Oh, I'm gonna kill him next round. I just need one more white pip.
Okay.
Um, so like Morganth cannot handle this magic, right? She tries to draw on the Song of Creation and use shadow magic to bend everything to her will, but she ultimately
Yeah.
fails. Right. Old Cobb, or Grandfather Spider, he kind of has a similar outlook on it too, but his is even more sinister because he even says at like when you're done with Chrysalis entirely, like don't get in my way, you're gonna regret it. And and then when you do end up fighting him at the end of his arc and all that, you're kind of,
Yeah.
again,
So
it's,
Mirage.
yeah, so it's like when you end up doing that again, it's something unexpected. It really
Yeah.
is. Like people, like you're doing things that people think are impossible, and that they really don't like. They like even the only one who really knows your destiny for all intents and purposes, even Bartleby is starting to be able to not predict what you're doing, because when you do go and talk to him after you're done with Darkmoor, he even says that he is starting to not be able to predict what you're doing. Like he can, like, and you're
Yeah.
talking a being that is, like, for all intents and purposes, a very important tree. Like he keeps the spiral together, and and he can see, for all intents and purposes, so many different outcomes of anything. But even he is starting to be unable to predict
Yeah.
um, what you're doing, and that's saying something because it's not even just you're not even it's not even just about like some because Bartleby is pretty much as powerful as, like, he's even more powerful than Grandmother Raven. And to think like what you're doing is so unexpected that that even Bartleby can't predict it. It's kind of a really good thing to be like, because if you really think about it, like, being a human on Earth, right? Like, like we are full of unpredictability. We can all, you know, like, living on Earth and what we're able to do is kind of like we can do unpredictable and very unexpected things in our lives, right? And
Yeah.
I believe that that's kind of what they're leaning towards, is that because your wizard comes from Earth, in a sense, you're kind of bringing your unpredictability to this world of magic and gods and whatnot. And you're kind of and what you're doing is, like, so unpredictable that no amount of magic
Yeah.
can really predict it.
Okay.
So it's like you're doing stuff that's like so
You gonna make me a shake?
it's like so out of radar that it's like no one can
Okay.
really predict what you're doing, because you're bringing your earthly ways of, like, unpredictability to this magical world.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're combining magic with a very unpredictable nature that comes from Earth itself. You're kind of really like no matter what, no one can really predict, because there's even like the crystal
Are
where.
you gonna grab those Cyclops? Because I'm just waiting for you to so I can grab the
Oh
mini
yeah, no, I I didn't know, you didn't tell me that wanted to you didn't tell me, so I can't really. I thought I was gonna be waiting on you to come fight the Cyclops. You didn't.
but
You forgot to tell me that you wanted me to just fight them.
no, I know.
So, but yeah, no, it's like I said. I think that because even when you gaze into something that Grandmother Raven doesn't even expect you to, because if you remember, I don't remember which world, but you do get this little crystal that you can use to kind of see one of the Grandmother Raven talking to Mallory about her purpose, and she
Yeah,
realizes, like, hey, you're not
uh,
supposed to be in here. Like, even
I think
she
it was
didn't
like
even know that you were in there. But then when she did, she of course pushed you out. But again, it's that sort of unpredictability that is kind of throwing everyone for a loop. You're doing things, and the way that you're doing it is very unpredictable, very similar to a.
I think it was towards the end of I think it was at the end of Imperial Part 1.
It might have been, like I said, or But I'm just saying in general, like I said, it is very
Yeah.
like that's kind of when you get your first hint, other than Karma, which is later on, that you again it's all unexpected. You're do like because essentially when you that's when you realize that because of what happens to the old one, he is able to kind of absorb your chaotic energy and use it. That's why he transforms into the paradox form that you had. You know, and again, that's because that's what he's kind of attached himself to you because again, this is your story. Do you need some help finding those eagles
Yep.
or?
No, I know. If you can get the last one, I can grab the first three.
So which one is that? Like the
Uh, I have the one in the main area where you first come in,
right?
and then I got the one in the oh yeah, I believe it was in the moon chamber.
So you're getting the ones on the outside, and then I just get the one that's like on like near the Hall of Watchful Eye. Then
Yeah,
okay. But yeah, so that's why I'm thinking, like I said, and even what they're saying about this arc is more like you are kind of facing off against something that's kind of represented of your world, right? It really
yeah,
does seem to be the main gimmick is like this is your world, not so much a spiral, but it's stuff coming from Earth. Again, it's and because of how unpredictable you are,
yeah.
no matter what, um, it's like no one has been able to predict what you're doing.
You gonna talk to
I was
Hephaestus?
trying to, but it was bugging
Okay.
out.
But yeah, but I get where you're trying to like from a standpoint. I can see why you think that.
I mean, like I said, it is, like I said, Meowie he's not even meant to be a big bad. Like like the only way that I would see him being a big bad in any form of it is like if he somehow had like access to like some shadow magic, which again it's like it is very unlikely to happen. Like
That's
the
true.
only real magic he ever got exposed to was Malstair pre Shadow, so you know that's why like that's kind of why I think like he would not be the one to be another bad. His story was tied to Malistaire before he even got his shadow powers. So I believe like that wouldn't make sense for them to bring him back.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't make sense from a story or lore or any other standpoint.
But you know who I could see because we did defeat them is well, even though it was just a vision, just a dream in Malloy's, but I could see maybe possibly because what I think is from our standpoint, he was the headmaster, so Mal Ambrose. He was good, and then he was like, oh yeah, like we're going to the Arcanum and we're basically ditching the school of Ravenwood, but they're scholars now. But depending on what wizard you are, I could see that because even though it was the headmaster, and
Hmm.
Malloy's like, and they're saying like, oh yeah, you haven't done your studies. Oh, you should do this. But in regardless, I could possibly see because Headmaster Ambrose came from the ward of Avalon.
Right. I mean,
But essentially, I think he could, because now that we're a Bartleby Scion, I could definitely see like before like when you defeat the last boss in the Dogma World, I could definitely see maybe us going into another type of sense of what is called like what the like going to light magic. So
I mean,
in a way, like I don't know if it's gonna happen,
right.
but
I
if we
mean,
get to the
so
like at the end of at the end of maybe Albion, which not Avalon, but Albion, which is another one,
mhm.
I could maybe maybe get it why we have to like at the end of Albion, like why we have to defeat Headmaster Ambrose.
I mean, the so the real interesting thing is like, technically speaking, um, so you make an interesting point, right? If Headmaster Ambrose
Yeah,
was to ever fight back against us, whatever. But the reason the reason I don't think that's likely either is mostly because it's as you said. You're playing through Mallory's memories, her dreams that she's went through, right? That's
yeah,
why the headmaster's even evil in the first place, because she did something that got her booted from Raven. Like she
yeah,
betrayed Headmaster Ambrose or whatever. And now that is like why she, can't go back. Like she, if you notice, she will never go to Wizard City because that's why. Because her and Merle Ambrose have beef, in a sense. Like they cannot,
mhm,
like she cannot go back there, even though she might want to. She just can't because she betrayed Merle Ambrose somehow. It could have, but even though we're not explicitly given any details on what she did, I believe that from what happened, I believe she either fell behind in her studies because of something to do with shadow magic or what have you. You know, even though that's not confirmed, I believe that that would kind of make the most sense. Like it would kind of stand the reason, like I said, and we're given plenty of context clues that either that she wasn't as diligent, like even in that headmaster fight. That's why, like, you're having to fight the headmaster is because that is her memory of what she went through with Headmaster Ambrose. Headmaster Ambrose does not mind what we do, and in fact, even officially graduates us at the start of Polaris to like
yeah,
we are officially graduated from Ravenwood because we have our bigger destiny. And then that's when Polaris starts, and then you go to the Arcanum, etc., etc. So it is kind of like, so I believe that because again, we're going through her memories. That is Mallory's memories of her having betrayed Merle Ambrose somehow. Either she might have turned to Shadow, or maybe there was some interference with Grandmother Raven, or what have you.
yeah.
There's obviously a reason that you fight Merle Ambrose in that state, because again, it is because you're going through her memories. And I believe like I said, the main way that she probably betrayed him is like it was probably in Merle's past, right? Because we do know
Yeah,
he has a big past. He's been teaching as the headmaster of Ravenwood for so long, right? Even
like
before
for
we come
centuries.
into the scene.
Yeah,
And it's like, so it would make sense that Mallory was probably a student of the life school before Grandmother Raven took her in, right?
yeah,
And it's like because of that, because Grandmother Raven was kind of coaching her in certain ways to help her with her goals, I believe that's kind of why Merle might have felt betrayed at that time. Because again, it's like he was trying to make sure that his students succeeded, right?
Yeah.
But of course, because again, and he probably thought it was just because of her herself, because Grandmother Raven does not seem like the type to really want to interfere. Even though she is an astral being, a higher being of sorts, she doesn't seem like she'd be the type to really want to interfere directly like that. Like, she would not out herself to just tell Merle Ambrose, like, hey, I'm the reason that Mallory is not studying as she normally does.
Yeah.
Because again, I believe it's kind of like Mallory was studious. She was a very, good student. Then probably Grandmother Raven took her in, started, and then when she left, well, not really left, but when she got kicked out, it's kind of that sense of like regret. Like it almost seems like she would regret not being able to, finish her studies. Because again,
Yeah.
another big theme in that area was like fear. Fear of like what happens or fear of your past. That was kind of a big thing that was going on as well in Imperia. You know, that's kind of
Hmm.
why it would make sense that her memory would obviously have its own tainted thing, because that was also, if you remember, that was also Grandfather Spider trying to corrupt her memories in a sense. Like, he's trying to
Yeah.
control Mallory for nefarious purposes. Obviously, the thing is like, it doesn't work, obviously, because she teams up with the Bat to stand against Grandfather Spider in the end. So obviously,
Yeah.
that plan did not work as intended. But it again, so it probably wasn't even really her memory. It was her memory of what happened, but it was also tainted by Grandfather Spider trying to get into her
Right.
head and trying to manipulate her into doing his bidding instead of hers.
Right.
So it could be either way, that she might not have betrayed Merle. Merle might have understood, or it could have been that she has that guilt of leaving Merle behind or whatever. But again, we all know that essentially Grandfather Spider was trying to take that and use it against her, you know. And
Yeah.
and when it backfired, even he could not predict that it would backfire the way it did, you know. Like he knew it, he knew that there was a chance, but even he couldn't foresee that you were going to end up teaming up with Mallory in that sense of like being able to go way beyond what just a student wizard should be able to do.
Yeah.
Like, no one could really predict that. That's why I'm saying it's kind of like I don't think, because Merle does not ever have the animosity towards us. Like, anytime you talk to him, he greets you with respect, and and even when he talks to you to give you quests, he never is. He doesn't feel betrayed by you. Like, there's no animosity, so it wouldn't make sense for him
Yeah.
to even be a villain ever. Like, he ain't even close to being an antagonist. Like, he helps you no matter what, and he realizes that because you have such a big job, that he helps you in any way that he can, even if that
Hmm.
means going against stuff that he himself said before, because he does kind of help you with the shadow magic even if he didn't want to have you learn it, he still helps you with like
Yeah.
learning about why it exists and what have you. So again,
But
it's kind of like he even knows that even if he can't fully know what your destiny is, he knows that you have a great destiny. That
yeah.
even that precedes, even himself. That he knows that you're graduating and that you're going to keep fighting, the monsters that keep popping up. Like he knows
Yeah.
that your destiny is greater than even he can even foresee. But he knows that it's great and that he knows that it's not going to end with you being against him. Like he
That's true.
doesn't like he doesn't to him it's like you are not his enemy. You are helping save the whole spiral, which to him is a very noble thing. Because even in Avalon, that is kind of something that they tell you is that Merle very very like heroic. Like he likes heroes in any sense. Even in Avalon, you kind of get that sense because it's like
Yeah.
you're becoming a knight to help a world that has been, kind of taken over by stuff. Like it has been taken over by problems with its past or what have you. So because of that, you stepping in to be a knight in shining armor, again, that's kind of very, very much true. You are, for all intents and purposes, not just Wizard City's hero, but you're also the hero of like the whole spiral. Like
Yeah.
you are protecting it and helping in any way that you can the whole spiral. And that's never going to change, I don't
Um.
think.
You. I think I have. I don't know. I think I would done it, but Cyrus wants me to talk to him. I think it was just like I don't know.
I mean, you can go talk to him. No, I'm just like I said, and I'll just keep yapping like I do anyways. Um, but yeah, like I said, it is something that as you pointed out when we even started talking about it, that is something we will have to wait and see though, because there is,
Yeah.
like there's so many different ways that the story could go from here.
Um.
So
Do
many.
you want to help me now with the Big Ben? Because that's the last thing I need to do for my quest.
Sure. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, it is kind of. I do hope, or well, not hope, but like I can't wait to see what ends up happening. Like how they
Yeah.
have this next part of this arc continue, and if we do get to know what the big bad is, and if so, who is it going to be? How is it going to play into the story?
So yeah, but anyway, my so like what I think what the I mean I don't know what the new spells are gonna
Hmm.
be, but my guess is probably because so you know how we had what's it 11? Hold on. Anyway, I have it on my myth, but I think so. We're probably gonna get a rank 12 spell
Yeah, I mean, I think that would
because
be a reasonable expectation, yeah, because we do not
because
have.
to because to ascent or to ascent we've had like maybe not really two tens, but we've had like well yeah I would say like what like three tens
I mean,
because there was celestial calendar for myth, spice sword for life, and the other ones for fire
yeah,
ice
no,
storm myth fire death and
I
bound
can just
like
look at the because I
and
can.
I don't remember, but I think yours was like some like I don't know. It's like some weird one.
Yeah, no, I remember. So like we get 10 pip Spinosaur, and then we get 10 pip, which is the world. We have two rank 10s. There's only two. Because you get the one in like the Azteca area, then you get the one from Darkmoor. And then of course the 11 pip is Scion of Life, which is like the tree. You know, that's when you get
Yeah.
the Scion for being your school. And then afterwards they kind of do a
I
weird
mean,
thing where spells after that, instead of going up in pips, they kind of go back, because then that's when you get like Star Spawns and the Bandit, etc. That's when you get your spells where it's like mixing the schools. So it is kind of hard to know if we're gonna get
I mean,
it.
I wouldn't call them spells, but the ones that you do get like the like kind of like the PvP ones, like the Jin and stuff that I
Yeah,
think
but I
of.
mean, like I said, it's
But
you
oh,
can
you
use
ready?
those outside of the PvP, but yes, those ones are kind of weird, I will say, because it's like
Yeah, I'm gonna get my water one.
it is kind of a thing of like, like those are not part of the story, you know?
Yeah,
Like, like I
yeah,
don't think they would include like PvP, previously PvP only spells in the story. Like I don't, it wouldn't make sense. But like
yeah, just
there is 9
but
pip spells that do exist. Like mine is the gnomes spell. There's like others. So it's like there are 9 pip,
well
8
on
pip,
my well
and
on my Fire Ice Storm Myth Life and Death is I think it was like what Sun Serpent for 9. No, that's 10.
yeah, Sun Serpent's 10.
Rain of Fire,
Rain
Rain
of
of
Fire,
Fire for fire. Ice is
the
Woolly
woolly
Mammoth.
mammoth.
Storm is Sirens.
Yep, sirens.
Myth is Basilisk because I know that because I have a myth.
Yes,
Life is
the gnomes that I just said.
gnomes. Yes, you just said. Um, Death is Vaughn's monster,
Yes, the Dr. Von's monster. Yep.
which you like. You come back to Mollybone, you talk to him, you Katzenstein, and you have to do like a whole thing of like a quest.
Yeah, it's a whole spell quest, but yeah. Well, I mean, all the rank 9 spells you do get through spell quests, so it
Yeah,
makes
the
sense.
Basilisk is like Dragonspire.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the end result. Like you do a lot of talking, and then you go to the one boss, because I think that's the one boss that gets shared no matter what school you are.
So I don't know. Maybe we get to defeat the Hoarder again in the next war.
No, because he,
Or it won't be the main boss, but it'll be like a side boss.
I mean, I don't like. I think the hoarder was just meant to be like he was meant to be the one that, because if you pay attention and when you're doing the actual quest, the spell quest, um, he does say like he only collects like certain things. Like he's not
Yeah,
like he does not just go out and collect anything. Like he has certain books that you
yeah,
need for those rank 9 spells. But and plus you do defeat him. Like he kind of just dies. Like I don't think he would be part of anything. Because again,
yeah.
those spell quests are kind of meant to just be challenges. They're not meant to have lore significance at all. Like they are parts of your story, yes, but that's kind of it. They don't really have any story or lore significance for the most part, other than just being
But
like your test to continue your own story.
I don't think Mushu's that long, huh?
No, Mushu is a short. It's kind of like a it's kind of in the middle of the road. Like it does have a lot more areas to it, but not too much so. Like it doesn't feel as like long as like other worlds. I'd say it's kind of more
Yeah,
in the
because
middle.
I think balance gets only like two more spells. Like from like once I'm done with Mollybone, I get to talk to my teacher, and then
Yeah, no, you do get a couple spells because any school does.
I think it was like the end of Mushu, I believe.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because toward the end of Mushu,
That was a funny number that you just did 9898.
yeah, because I'm pretty sure because it's like each that's when the schools have like different ones. But yeah, it's kind of toward not really the end, but it's kind of like very toward the end ish. Like it is,
Yeah.
it's not like fully the end because it's not like you don't get the spell. You get the spell before you beat Jade Oni. No matter what, they kind. But you do kind of like in some cases you'll fight like one of the Onis again. So it's kind of like you'll fight like either Plague Oni for some schools or certain other ones for like others. But
Um,
because when you do the Mushu one, it's
well, I'm in the middle of a. I'm I'm in the middle of a dungeon.
so it is very much like you do like
I
you
do. I remember the whole thing for this. I think it was like, what is it like, ice
Blimey, I tried to get ahead of them,
bud
but they've blocked off the stairs.
moondog or
You'll have to
something like that.
continue on your own from here. I'm sorry I was of no
I'm
use.
pretty sure
Good luck, Gov.
for the code, but
oh no the code you can look at the plaques. That's like even though they don't change, obviously it's kind of like it's you know might as well just make sure to remember them. Yes, Isis is the first one. Because that's the one that's lit up. You need the ones that are lit up, so to speak.
I'm so right now I think the one thing I'm trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
not I'm trying to find like, I mean, this pet is, it kind of failed on the first attempt, well, not first but the second second attempt, but I do have another, well, this one is kind of like close to like ancient, but
I mean, the interesting thing is that because you have one of the pups, you can combine that to get like the best pup belly.
yeah.
If you get like the other half for it. Because yeah, that's like the scales puppy, and then you combine it with um, like you have to find out what the other one is. I think it's like you can do any of the spirit schools, because there's like a chart that someone made of like the how you get the combinations. But I'm pretty sure because of like
I think the but I'm trying to find like what the I know, I think it was like one of the beast pest, the the like the, I forget what it's called, but like um yeah, there's a balance one. I know there's a fire, ice, storm, myth, life, death, and balance.
hmm
Like this, I think there's like the, like kind of like, it kind of looks like the squirrel, like the beast pet, those beast pets,
hmm
like like secret beast or sacred beast or whatever it's called.
right.
But the balance, or the what's the, oh, the possum, that one. I know that most of the pets are really good. Like for balance, you could get like a like six, like damage pet for balance.
I mean, but the reason I say like because you have like the puppy, you can combine it to make what it like
Yeah,
because again that plus 65 like you know how much better it would be to have like a plus 65 hazard like
yeah,
that is like so like that might as well just be a free feint without no trap on yourself either. Like it's only a trap that you can place on an enemy. And there's other good things about it
yeah,
too, because it gives you like insinuate and other offensive stuff when you combine them.
yeah.
So
But
it's
like
like,
every school, every school can get their own like trap like the
yeah, the
one that
hazard,
might.
yeah, but I'm just saying the balance one is kind of a interesting one because it's not only is it more unique because it's like I believe from what I remember hearing that the hazard is universal because obviously
It's what's called. Yeah, yeah,
balance does not have a you know trap. Theirs is all universal stuff. Um, so and then I believe even the attenuate that you get if you combine them is also interesting too because I think it's either that one is either like universal or balance only. I do not remember.
it's balance.
Well, I mean, like I said, but it is again, it's still like you can get good offense if you combine them. And the fact that
Yeah,
you already have half of the equation, you just need the other half, which could, again, that's through Barkingham. So you already, because you already have the hard part. Getting that specific pup is hard enough because that's the one you have to like hatch and all that to get, unless you get it
yeah.
from the pack. But otherwise, you have half of quite literally the best pet you could ever get in the
Oh
game.
yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Because you got the pup. Now you just need the other half, which is the pot belly, to go with it. And
Is it a balanced one or do you know?
I'm pretty sure because the way the hybrids work is that you have to combine them in certain ways. I think balance was like a life, death, or myth because the weird way it works is like it's meant to be your like other school, like a school that represents your opposite in a sense.
Yeah,
So, but for
but
balance,
I
that
thought I balance was fire, ice, storm, myth, life, death.
yeah, no, I could probably, cause like I said, someone did make a chart. Um, I just gotta figure out the
Because if you think about death's opposite is life, life's opposite is death, myth's opposite is storm, opposite is myth, ice's opposite is fire, and fire's opposite is ice. So fire, ice, ice, fire, storm, myth, myth, storm, life, death, death, life, and balances like all of them. But
let's see. Yeah, no, like I said, I know that there's a whole chart that someone did make about it.
howdy, belly girl. How are you? Someone came into our stream.
Yeah, I seen. Okay. So for bestest, yeah, you get the 55 hazard, you get a hex, and you get a balance attenuate. Um, so it's let's see. Yeah, so
um, Oh, yeah. So I don't. So I don't have work, and our trainer doesn't come. Well, he comes Fridays, but he doesn't come Saturday Sundays because we have like just that Saturday off. But I was gonna say what was I gonna say? Oh,
Okay, here it is.
are you?
So,
Do you have like? Are you planning on doing anything on this Saturday or no?
uh, I don't think there's anything planned, but I could be, things could come up or what have you because, I know this weekend
Okay.
we're not doing anything. I know next weekend we are because that's my birthday party.
Oh, your birthday's next weekend.
Not next weekend. Um, but it's in the middle of the week, so we're doing the party on the weekend because my family all
I
works.
see it.
So otherwise, so
Because I'm not working this weekend
yeah.
because my parents are out of town. They're in Colorado for a wedding, so they're leaving tomorrow. Like, so my brother and I will just it'll just be us. Because what I was thinking is because if you're not doing any, well, my brother and I Friday it'll probably be like Friday afternoon. We'll probably or not Friday, yeah, probably Friday afternoon.
Okay,
I'm
so
probably just gonna be hanging out with my brother. We're probably gonna play until like 10 or 11, possibly 12, because I don't work Saturday.
mhm.
Maybe probably midnight, probably like 3 to like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. But other than that, I have nothing planned for Saturday. So I was thinking like if you're not doing anything Saturday, we could like maybe go an hour, about an hour or two ish on Saturday. Like if you want to do another collab, but
Okay, so here we go. For the balance one, it's any school. So essentially, you actually have to get a pup belly for a different school and then combine it with the puppy. So you actually need the
gotcha.
hybrid, any school hybrid beforehand, and then you can use that with your balance puppy to get the balance hybrid, which is funny. So yeah, you
I
you have to do more work because of balance.
but no
Then it was like the elephant.
moon.
You hear the gears of the clock start to move.
There we go. We're
Yeah.
good. So yeah, no, that's interesting. So you actually have to make a pop belly for a different school and then combine it with your puppy to make the hybrid
Yeah.
for yours.
Yeah.
So that's funny. You have to do more work than any other school. I guess that makes sense considering that yours is very universal. Like I said, the hazard is a plus 55 universal hazard. So, and then you also get like a free hex because it also gives you like a, normally that'd be any school, your school trap, but obviously balance doesn't have that, so it gives you a free hex, and then you get the attenuate at the end. So it would be something that would be very worthwhile for you for offense.
But yeah, I don't know if you heard me, but I said
Yeah, I heard you.
I said that
If nothing comes up this weekend, I should be free, like I said.
okay, but there's a little part before like where it says like I think because if you have like nothing this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
would you like? Would you want to just like go on extra or
I mean, it
like if
usually
it's like two
depends
or
because
three?
it's
Then
like,
like
um, because like for me, I just,
I mean, it's
um,
totally up to you.
no, the thing is like, I'm, it's kind of because I get like bored, and and it's
Oh,
like,
I see. Yeah.
yeah, it's because the ADHD, what it causes me to do is like, I cannot like sit still and just do one thing for an hour. Or well, an hour is like what I do now. That's why I don't go any longer than that because it's like my brain will otherwise be, unable to focus on it. It'll literally be like, hey,
I see.
anything
Yeah.
else. I'm like, so that's kind of why I never go too long because it's like the ADHD will cause me to get bored of whatever I'm doing. Even on the best case scenario
I
with
mean,
that, it is like,
I get, I like, don't get me wrong, but I get bored too because obviously I have ADHD too.
yeah,
But essentially, like, I could go longer and stream, but like, I could be on the computer for hours. Like on days where I don't have work, I could go for like, or if I don't have my trainer, I could go for like maybe 8 hours, 12 hours streaming. But then I get like really bored after like 7 or something. So
yeah, no, that's why like I don't plan or anything with streams because it's like for me, I'm like sometimes I will on like rare occasions, but for the most part, I just play it by ear because again, it's like I know
yeah,
that like I can only go for like an hour or so, then my brain will just start being distracted and have to go do something else. It is like a attention span that is, part that comes part of the condition.
yeah.
Not much I can do about it. That's why I'm like, I would love to go longer, but at the same time my brain's not going to let me.
I mean, we've only been going for about hour and a half, but me, I think I've been going for like
Well, for me yeah, it's
yeah,
about an hour and a half, but I'm just saying that's why my normal time is like, an hour and a half or something.
yeah.
Unless I'm
I
doing
get
something, then it's like, but usually it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's kind of my max. I never go any longer than that because it's like my brain will then be like, do something else. It's just something I've gotten used to. That's why I don't really watch a lot of movies either because again, you got to focus for like longer than two hours for the most part.
well. I mean, it depends on the movie.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
that's why like I do have struggles with watching movies. Not only that, but then I'll also talk throughout the whole thing like I'm doing. Like obviously streaming, I can do that fine, but like if you're watching a movie, it's kind of like you don't want to talk through the whole thing unless you're me,
yeah.
which I do that. I mean, it's just something I can't control.
That's yeah.
So it's like, I just work with the restrictions that I have.
I mean, I don't think we have that much farther to go. But
Yeah, no, the Big Ben's not too long, like I said, and obviously, like I said, as I just said, as long as I'm focusing on something specific, you know, like I can go for a little bit longer than normal, but I still will end up getting bored
yeah,
eventually. Like I cannot just sit and do the same thing. I have to do something else. That's that's why if you notice I do, for me I just It's nothing against you. It is nothing against anyone. It's literally just part of some
Yeah,
part
no,
of me that I
no,
can't control.
again. It's weird because like I don't remember. I think it was like the other day I came home and on my Discord
Hmm.
it said the gaming robot, whatever. I don't know if you were on Wizards 101 or if you were not because like it just said like completely like right when I got home like that's weird because like I kept checking my Discord like
Hmm.
through Wizards 101 or not Wizard 1 but through my Discord or my my Discord like on my phone the Discord app it said that like for the whole entire day I was like why is he on Wizards 101 I mean I don't know it's probably because you were just like either just like you had it on or something but
Well, no, I mean, I probably sometimes I've noticed that my Discord tends to like have its own lag where like when I switch games, it doesn't like automatically.
okay yeah because I was like that it was weird because
Yeah, no, like I said, it takes a minute for it to fully update and realize, oh, you're not playing this game anymore.
yeah
And I
mine
don't
does
know
that
why.
too.
So it's like, hey, look, there's the third milk. Why not? We'll fight the extra boss, because why not? Gives free gold. I don't know.
Oh, that's it. You're gonna pay for that now.
Oh that's it you're going to pay for that now just wait until I get my paws on milk waster.
Yep. That's a optional boss, because if you don't spill the milk, he won't spawn. But if you spill all the milk, uh that's when he spawns in. Because there is a floor where it can be empty if you don't spill all the milk. But I'm like, why not? It's been a minute since I've done him, that specific little side boss in here. So why not? Why not? You know?
I know there's a spell. I think it's for balance that it. I mean, that's not including the balance blade,
Hmm.
but if you have a certain amount of blades, it takes like 4 or 5 of them off or something, and then
Yeah.
it converts it into a trap or something.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about that last time. Remember? It was the blade and trap delusion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we talked about that last time where it'll take like some of your blades that you're not using and convert them into universal blades. Because you were
but
asking
what's
about what it does and
yeah,
how it worked,
but
and I explained it to you.
but you know what's funny is I was just looking at YouTube video on it just the other day,
Hmm.
and people have been using it because when they don't use like let's say life, they don't use myth and death, right?
Hmm.
They only use the life. It actually converts into a 35 balance blade.
Yeah, like I said, the it converts any off blades, any blades that you don't use. You know, that's why I said that's how it's mostly used. I would say it's like you can convert school blades that you're not
Yeah,
using and or traps that you're not using and convert them into something that is usable no matter what.
So
I
you
think we have
think
like what
knocking
one
over my
before.
bottles is funny?
Now this is the
One
floor
hard
right
world
before,
spilled milk.
where
You
this floor
introduce
will
yourself,
only have the pop
Inspector
bellies if
Bday.
you
Russian
only if you
Wizards
don't
be
spill the milk.
going.
But now we get to fight good old Spike. Hi Spike, good to see ya. Because he only spawns if you spill the milk. That's his main. That's the main way to get him to spawn.
Yeah, but what I was saying is I think the one thing that they might I don't know if they will add it,
Hmm.
but I would love for King's Hour to like maybe like when the next one comes out. I mean, it probably will,
Well, yeah, I mean, there's
but
already talks about what they're doing for it. It's already been
if they,
teased.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, if they do come out, I'll be happy because the like, I mean, because don't forget, when was the last time we've had? I mean, we've had two, like, not two, but six of the fist spells. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, there's four in the beginning of Celestia. You get one at what, like 50, 50, 52, 56, and 58, right?
Hmm.
And then there's one which is colossal, and that's what, like 60, 65 or 6 or something like that. Yeah, it's something like that, like 66 or something.
So,
But
what exactly are you like looking for? Is it like more fish-related spells, or?
I think if they do add more of the like like the big, like the one where you can put the damage fist on the hand on a
Uh-huh.
spell, and it does more damage.
Oh, you mean like further enchantments? Yeah, see,
Yeah,
there's Meowiarty. Or not Meowiarty, Miles there. Because that's when you start
yeah.
learning that he's the one. Yeah. Um, well, the reason that they probably won't is because, um, is probably because that would be too overpowered, right? If anything, I think the only thing that they might do in lieu of not being able to add any more like enhancements to the spells would be to like um would be like adding maybe more star related, or I could see there being kind of like a similar situation where they do something similar to Scions where you can get like extra damage for certain conditions. I'd say that's more
Yeah,
likely because like the fist is too overpowered. Like just
but
being.
I think what I saw is someone, I don't know who, but someone, I think it was, I don't know if it was one of the devs, but someone,
Mhm.
they leaked. I think it was what, like a few days ago, but yeah, they leaked that it was like it was something that looked like a monstrous, or like gargantuan, or epic,
I mean, if they do, I think it'd
like
be
like
a
silhouette, but
surprise for sure. Like, because I know that they've went on record to say so many times, like, that's the reason they don't want to add any more, like, enhancement spells is because they're, like, already getting overpowered enough, you know? That's why,
yeah,
that's
but
why,
like all the death wizards are like, oh yeah, like we want more because only because I'm saying it is because like most of the death spells do like 300, 400, 500 damage, or 600,
right,
and they
like,
don't like, so like they basically they nerfed, yeah, they nerfed Cthulhu, they nerfed
yeah, no, they did, no, Deaf
Wraith,
School,
and Vaughn's monster, because the damage, it used to be like 1,000 or 500, 600, something like that, but
right. No, no, they did nerf death a lot. And I do think that they probably need to go back and rebalance some of the schools again. You know, like obviously they did some changes to help with the balancing, or so they say, but at the same time I think that they could go back and revisit some of those school changes to figure out um because I do think that they could, and I think it would be a good idea for them to go back and just kind of revisit and see like Because there, there were talks about like how all these different spells are overpowered and blah blah blah. But I do think that they probably probably should go back and revisit all that to see like what is overpowered and what really isn't. Um,
Why do I get so much gearhead spell elements?
because that's your spell. That's like,
I
cause
know, but it's like
you're
I
getting
got
them
like
because anytime
I
you
don't know.
complete a quest in the world, you get spell elements for the specific spell that you get during technically like one that matches the um like the world. Like each world has its own like
I
tier
think
of
I got
spell.
like
And anytime you
15 or
can
20 or something, but
yeah, no, but you're going to keep getting them because that's kind of like your like a spell that, you know, that you get. Well, not really get, but like a
yeah.
spell that matches the tier in the world, right? Like you get like this is tier 4 area, you know, so on and so forth. They did that for all the main worlds. Like if you do the main storyline, you get spell elements for your spell in that like zone's rank.
Yeah, because I remember I like when I was doing Wizard City and Crocotopia, I got like the one that cost 1, 2, 3, and 4 pips.
Exactly. Anyways,
But
I do suppose that'll be it for me. So
I'm
because I am starting to get like bored.
uh I'm probably gonna head out too,
All right.
but I'll still be on Wizards, so
Yeah. So
I'll just if you want to just raid me and then I'll just raid someone, then
oh no,
by all
like
means.
if you're not gonna if you're not gonna continue streaming, I'll probably because I know like I do have friends that stream too, so it's like I'll just send them elsewhere, you know.
Okay.
But I do appreciate you for
But yeah, I'll just follow Yuli and you can take me to them with them. So with you.
as long as you can speak. All right, so thank you all so much for watching. Uh, big shout out to Cam
Yep.
for us collabing. As always, all the support or for both of us is always appreciated. And of course, we will see you both or see you all here next time. As always, we will see you next time. Goodbye for now, everyone. Let me get the raid browser because there is a command that lets you see um who's streaming. Send you all to Jiro. Everybody loves Jiro. All right, now let me hit the stop streaming button.